Critics. How was your week?
It was dope. I always be trying to just keep it low key and chill. So it was dope.
It was dope.
Celebrating. Well, last Sunday celebrating Mother's Day. Then the coming Sunday, Mom's birthday. So just trying to get it together. She be cleaning up, man. Because Mother's Day, you got 4 kids, and Mother's Day, and then your birthday. You don't say nothing for me for the rest of the year. Okay.
Imagine my mother's birthday being a week after Christmas. It's like Christmas, then the week after is her birthday.
I'm talking about they be cleaning.
I got it easy. My mom's birthday in the summer, so it's just like a good.
You got a break. You can recollect. Get the coins back together.
Get it right.
But yes. So what I'm gonna say? I started a new job this week. Well, last week I started a new job.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. Excited. Excited. I don't want to say what it is. I don't want y'all in my business, but
just know it's a new job.
Just know it's a new job, and it's going to be paying quite well. Right now, the training is just started, so it's like it's somewhat seldom. It's like okay, not hard, not too easy. It's just like in the middle. So far, everything is good though. Everything is well, and yeah. What about you?
Well, I just moved into my new salon suite. I just finished literally getting it together today, like before I got here. So I'm excited about that. And then I did a little bit of furniture shopping because I'm moving into my own place and things of that sort. So shout outs to Value City.
Moving on
Are you
up.
moving downtown area?
Southfield.
Southfield?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, though.
I'm keeping it neutral.
I'm keeping it neutral. So you're just in the middle, I guess.
Easy balance.
Well, that's all good. One of our pop culture critics, she's going to be running a little bit late, so we're just going to wait for, not wait, but we're going to, obviously she's going to come in, when she comes in. But, so the first on the news of today's pop culture critics, we have the Spotlight segment of the show. Mine is Robert Smith. He's a billionaire that paid for the class of 2019's Morehouse.
Just saying, where was you at?
Tuition.
Where was you at?
Period.
I need somebody to pay these $2.
Okay, because I was thinking about it. Like, let me search for some millionaires at the college I went to.
I'm gonna start tagging all of them.
Right, like y'all need to step it up.
Just in case you want to help out. I'm just gonna let you know.
Let's be real. Like a smooth $5,000 from each y'all can easily help pay off mine.
I'm just saying.
It's very easy.
I'm gonna just start tagging them all.
I'm not even gonna be greedy.
I just want it right.
Like just give me a.
Me have no. You have not because you asked that. I'm asking for it all.
Okay.
I'm asking for it all.
Then, go ahead and do that too.
Exactly. I just need 3/4 of it paid. I don't need all of it paid off. I could probably do the rest on my own. I just want 3/4. How about that? No, what? No,
You're so nice. Your guys are. You guys are so nice. I just want to let you know. I'm asking for it all. Like if you're gonna pay for it, go ahead and drop that $1.
Right.
Please help me.
Also joining us today is Miss Alexis Coco. I don't right quick Coco. Glenn Coco. Glenn Coco. Huh?
Am I set up yet?
You in there like swimwear, homegirl?
Yeah, I'm set up now.
And we also have Miss Deja. She's back with us today.
Hello.
I don't know. You're gonna turn you on.
Am I not? Okay.
Now you are.
Okay. Well, I'll do that again.
And then also we have another special guest. I'm not sure if he's gonna be talking or not, if he wants to or not. He probably just want to listen.
Oh no, it's cool. I mean, I might say something. I got some words of.
Some words to say, definitely.
Come through.
Introduce yourself. Give us a nice little description. Who are you? Who you is?
Matt Patty.
Who you is?
Detroit Wiz. I also do tattoos. Follow me on Instagram at Detroit_Wiz.
Come through.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right.
We got a good little round table going on.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Josh, so who is your spotlight of the week?
Okay, so my spotlight is actually going to go to Sabrina Fulton. The name may sound familiar because she is the mother of Trayvon Martin. She actually just, earlier this week, she actually came out that she's going to be running for office in Florida. So shout out to her. She's doing big things. If you didn't know prior to this, her son was like the junior office. Also in the same, I want to say it's District 1, District 1 in Florida. So doing big things. She's been in, it's not just the spotlight for her son, but she has been really doing her thing politically, even beyond the Trayvon Martin. I don't even want to say situation, but the tragic just passing of him. Even before that, she was in politics, and so for her to continue going on and building is an amazing thing. So I can't wait to see what her campaign is going to bring.
Absolutely. That's actually really good to hear, because you never know how like a certain situation may actually just impact you
Yeah,
enough.
a lot of people kind of stop.
You know what I mean, right? They stop, they be adamant, and then they don't never, go further. And for her to actually like, no, I'm going to continue. And so as her brother, I think that's not her brother, but her son, Trayvon's brother. I'm sorry, to continue forward. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing that she didn't let the situation break her, but instead make her a warrior for social justice. I think that's huge.
Absolutely. Anybody else got a spotlight? No.
I got a local. I got like a local shout out.
Sure.
Okay, well, this is my friend. His name David Ellis, and he works for the Motown Museum or whatever.
Okay.
And he been like on the news and stuff lately, like trying to like bring awareness to the Motown Museum is still there and get people to come. So like I just I think that's good.
Yeah, that's
or
pretty
whatever.
dope.
That's what's up. Well,
you
said his name is David
Ellis, and he also has a his thing is David Soul Mine. I think it's like
How you gonna give him a shout out?
because I was trying to get it together. It just came to the
What's
top
his
of my
phone
head.
number? Let the people know. No, just, no, don't. Not like that. Not like that.
I
give him his
734.
Wow. I thought it was like, he's really naming out the number? Like, I know he's naming an area code.
Okay.
All right. So in today's meat and potatoes of the week,
Let's go.
we have Kodak Black. He could be facing 10 years after attempting to purchase guns illegally in Florida. Hold on, can I just say something? It's always in Florida. Everything's fucked up in Florida. Like, no shout out to
I'm not going to Florida.
Like, look, there's always something fucked up in Florida or Chicago for some reason. It's always those two, either a state or a city. Like, I don't know
It's
what's
so
wrong
crazy
with it.
because Florida is so beautiful. It's such an amazing place.
They
It's
got
such an
projects,
incredible
too.
place.
Yep.
It's,
The Porky
no,
Big
like literally,
stuff.
I took a trip to Orlando and I stayed in Orlando for about a week, and it was literally like heaven. It was so serene, so beautiful. And when I got back to Detroit, I checked the news, and it was like horrific things that happened specifically in Orlando while I was there. It was like a case where a family was tortured in the basement,
Oh, no,
and like
wait.
killings and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, where was this?
Sounds like Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio always has like killings and people in the basement.
basement.
Why,
Yeah.
why is it always the basement?
Right.
Where's always
I
the
think it's the
basement?
living room.
I mean, or the closet.
But yeah, but you know what? It's just crazy. But it's such a beautiful place. But the most fucked up things happen in Florida.
It always it's
Something
always
in the water.
Florida.
Their water tastes
It's something in the water. I don't know what it
Something in
is,
the
but it's
water.
always
Them
in
specific
Florida.
states, something in the water.
Something in the water, just there.
I don't know what it is, but like, yeah, he could be facing 10 years. And for illegally purchasing. For one, he's already
Did he
he was
attempt, or did he actually get the goods?
attempting to purchase. So they didn't. They caught him the act of, for one, that's already going against his parole. 'Cause he's on probation or whatever. So he's been on probation. He was if he would have just been good, okay, for like
He
a
would've
good
just sat
2
down
years,
somewhere.
just sat down and did your music because you was already getting permission kind of to travel because of work. Just did your music and actually stay out of trouble. You won't be going through half of this
But
bullshit.
Corford,
Not
it's-
even.
Of course, it's not that easy for him. I have an unpopular opinion.
Yes.
You guys probably aren't gonna agree with me.
Okay.
However, I just feel like throw the whole person away. Like I really have a strong disdain for Kodak Black. Let me explain my case.
Please.
I don't like him because I really feel as though, as a person in totality, he's very disrespectful. At least the things that I heard or like come out of the media or come out of the news, I just feel as though it's like nothing good ever comes out of any situation that he's involved in, and it's always something just crazy, disrespectful, him being condescending to women, him degrading or disrespecting women, him with Young and May, I don't know if he was trolling or not, him with Lauren London, I felt like that was completely out of pocket and out of line.
Him about dark-skinned women.
Him about dark-skinned women. It's always something just very problematic. And one thing that I really have a problem with is we constantly are promoting people and constantly uplifting people who are just negative people. And all the chains that he wears, all the cars that he drives, we pay for that because we watch his videos, we stream his music, we buy concert tickets to his shows, and we're constantly supporting this nonsense. So I made a conscious effort, actually,
not to
after the
support.
whole Lauren London situation, to not listen to his music anymore because I'm tired of supporting people who abuse their power. And I feel like he's one of those people. So just throw him away, in my opinion.
So, do you believe in this thing called cancel culture in a sense of where you canceling a person because they did or said something bad. But in his case, I do understand why it's needed. You know what I mean? Because there's a vice to it. It's always a good and a bad side to cancel culture. I do believe that there is a point in canceling someone to make them understand, to actually make sure, to let them know that you're not as powerful as you think you are. Remind you, it takes all of us to bring you up. It would take all of us to bring you down. And trust and believe we can do that in the numbers. Yeah. But in a sense where it can also be bad, where a lot of times people like to what's my word? A lot of times when it comes to Kodak Black or rappers like Kodak Black, they like to hide him under the guise of misguided.
He's so young.
He's so
it's
young.
Where he came from.
And stuff like that.
None of that.
You know what I mean? I just feel like, well, he's a grown man. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing.
But I think a lot of this is like you're specifically doing this in specific time frames because there's promoting to be done.
You think it's like clout chasing?
Yeah, this is very much clout chasing. Like this is, you're not a real gangster. Let's just be clear. Let's be very, very honest. You're not.
He is? I think he is.
I think
in
he
no
might have been. I think I would have let him know.
In no life do I fear him at all. Like in no life.
I mean, let's be real.
Because he looked crazy as hell.
But just because you're crazy doesn't mean you're an actual gangster.
Okay. I get
so
what you're saying.
I feel no.
I'm saying if
but
he
way
had a gun and I had a gun,
I feel like I would shoot him before he shot me.
I would shoot it out.
Okay, maybe a shootout at that point. But I'm saying like
I don't even think it would be a shootout in my opinion. But again,
I'm pretty sure he'll shoot.
Okay, well, in regards to the cancel culture, the Gemini in me is seeing both sides of it, and it's I think it's
why you blaming on the Gemini?
Because it's almost Gemini season. I gotta remind you.
The twin.
It's
a mental twin.
Okay, it is.
It's a mental
so
twin.
Literally, I disagree and agree with myself all day long. However, that's not what we're talking about. The cancel culture. I understand that people make mistakes, and I understand that life is all about growing and developing. If you're not growing as a person, you're not living, you're not alive.
Right.
And I understand that your opinions today will be completely different from how they are 20 years from now. But I also feel as though as a consumer, I have the right to support whomever I believe deserves that said support.
Right.
And as far as someone who sets a bad example for the youth, because most of his followers are young people.
Right.
As far as someone who is just disrespectful and degrading to women, I just can't support that. I can't, and I refuse. So in my mind, he's canceled.
But
just solely based off of that. So if in 15, 20 years he decides to make some sense out of himself and, to be different and to portray a different caricature, then I might, lift the cancel. But as far as right now goes, I just can't see myself doing it.
And that's honestly.
I feel like
but is
that's
anybody
kind of
here
hip-hop,
an
though.
actual fan of his?
I like Kodak Black. I really do.
That's why
I
he
like
was biased.
That's the thing is,
He disagreed with me
Well,
in the
I'm
car.
not a Kodak Black. I never listened to him anyway. So this is
I
literally
listened to
just
a couple
on
songs,
his
but I was never like
A
I'm
fan.
about to go see a show.
Yeah,
never
me.
I was none of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
it's not even
this
that.
is legit just
I know
on him.
people that are actually products of their environment, and they really can't help the way they live. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I know for a fact that some people, they don't just live their life because it's cool per se.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know some people that actually do bad things because they have to provide for their family. I seen it.
I don't think he necessarily has to provide, but I think he, when you come out of a street mentality,
It's hard to get out of.
It's hard to get out of, and people still hold obligations towards
like
you, whether you want to, whether you want to be living that lifestyle or not. But then that's when willpower comes in and all of that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think at the
that
end of
doesn't
the day,
make it easy.
Whatever went on, and we said this before, whatever went on at home, whatever, if you can be a product of your environment,
You can easily.
when
change
you're
it.
grown, the
You
decision
can.
now is yours to
Right.
you know
And even
what's
if
right,
you
what's
are
wrong.
a shitty individual, even if you are, even if this is who you are deep down inside, why do you have to come for people publicly? I just don't get, because I don't think people realize nowadays, because we live in this social media generation where you constantly have a platform to air out your opinions that even might change tomorrow. Like at any given moment, you can constantly say whatever's on your mind. Even if you are a shitty person, you don't have to let the world know.
That's very
You do
true.
not have to
No, but I
degrade
think-
dark-skinned
I
women.
think
You don't
the
have
thing
to.
about that is how many people have negative opinions about people all the time in private.
All the
Keep it in
time.
private.
It's the
Keep it in
same-
private is my
It's
point.
the same thing. At the end of the day, some people don't have that same,
And honestly,
Je ne sais quoi.
would we want it to be private though? If he is a shitty person, that's kind of another question too. I would actually
other
rather.
artists. Like I feel like we're kind of
Exactly.
in his defense.
Let me know how shitty
I
you
feel
are.
like if
I
we're
wanna-
speaking
I wanna
in
smell all
terms of
this
being
noodle.
canceled, if we're speaking in terms of being I'm dead.
All the doodle.
Well, listen, if we're speaking in terms of being canceled, I'm just one person. My not listening to him is not going to personally affect him. It would
Right.
take a lot of people. So if a lot of people did band together and he's like, why is this happening to me? It's because you're a shitty person publicly.
That's very true.
Exactly. So that's the whole,
That's very true.
But I mean, in his defense, and again, not a fan, but in his defense,
advocate, it's needed. We can all agree.
saying, in
Right.
his defense, there are other art. Like I feel like he's kind of being the martyr of things, because there are definitely other artists who
are shitty
do
as
that
well.
as well. and we
Everybody's
don't, like,
shitty
yeah.
nowadays.
Young boy,
There's a lot.
Most of them are
what's going on
We're
with
just
him,
not.
but,
We don't talk about them.
What's wrong
Like
with
how
this
we're
young
talking
boy?
about.
Period.
I don't know what's wrong with him. Does he have the herp? I don't know.
Whoa.
Y'all didn't know?
The
I
hurt.
didn't know.
Who y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Kodak
NBA
Black?
Young Boy or whatever.
Yeah, NBA young boy.
I don't even know what that is.
Is a rapper.
The herp.
He got the.
He
He
had
got the.
I
Shit
know
on
what
your
the
lip got
herp
some
that
shit.
He got the package.
Like, keep on.
He got the
package. Lord
We're all-
Jesus,
we got
on
the
fire.
I'm not.
He said it in the song. It's in his blood.
What?
He said it in his song. He
sorry.
said he
what's in his blood.
He said he got the herp in his blood.
Let's
He
move
didn't
on.
say
In
that.
the song, he did say that.
Send
It
me
came
that
out
link
like
He said
later.
I
perp.
seen the link.
He said perp.
I need to
I
prove.
thought he
I
said
need to
herp.
prove.
He said perp.
No, he
Receipt,
definitely said
please.
herpes. Like,
Okay.
he said,
You know, well,
all right.
Keep breaking down lyrics.
If you
At least
better
y'all
than
listen to lyrics nowadays, because if one more person tell me I just like
I
the
ain't never
beat,
heard
it's
no
just
songs
I
about it.
cannot do it.
I'm dead.
I feel like every time his songs come on, I end up turning it. So
I actually don't know what an
wouldn't
NBA
know.
YoungBoy song really sounds
I don't
like.
either.
Couldn't
That's
tell
why I'm
you.
like,
He got like
couldn't
a
name
handful
one.
of good songs.
I'm pretty sure he got
A handful.
some
Couldn't
songs,
name
but I
one.
can't
How many-
name
Why are you the
one.
only person who know these people's music?
I listen
Facts.
to ratchet music.
I listen to ratchet music.
What?
All right, so
That's
let's go
crazy.
ahead and move on. We have Justice for Malia. So if you guys
Very
don't
sad
know,
story.
Malia was a 4-year-old little girl. Her stepfather is being charged with murder. Well, allegedly he's being charged with murder
they find the
for her
body?
for the disappearance of
Okay.
her. So they don't know where her body is. They did find the vehicle where he said the incident was at. He said that he got carjacked. The two boys got the car, and then and that Malia was still in the car when they still took off, or whatever. So anyway, they got him on camera with Malia following him into the house where they lived at, and then on the way out, they didn't know Malia wasn't there with them, but he was carrying out a white basket, but the white basket also had a trash bag, and we don't know if that was her body or that was just trash. We don't know.
That nigga
So
did.
is she-
I mean, where did he?
Allegedly.
What on the
So-
camera? Where was he taking it?
They don't show that.
Like, yeah, he walks
he
out
walks
of
out the
camera
crib
side.
with
He
the
walks
basket.
out.
But she is dead.
We don't know.
But they don't show if he's at the dumpster or like.
No,
at the
we
car.
don't know.
But she don't never walk out, you know?
She don't never walk out the house. And
I
she's
mean,
been-
he guilty. Period. But
Yeah,
Period.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just interested in where.
Now they're trying to
Yeah,
blame the
so-
brother, the older brother, even though the
This
older
is a
brother.
story that's definitely going to be developing.
It has constantly been developing
Yes.
and changing. New information has been coming
she's-
out. So what I heard was that
She's been missing
Word
for
on
3
Block
weeks.
It. No, it's not appropriate. But what came out was that CPS actually had took custody of her
children.
last year. Yeah, and then they were placed back into the home. But it was like physical abuse that had been reported.
Physical abuse
to,
that happened to her and the mother. The mother
Yeah.
was also having domestic abuse. But the reason why they said that the stepfather, I'm sorry, I have to really reiterate that the stepfather allegedly killed Malia was because to get back at the mother. The mother found out that he was sending, he was sexting, for a better appropriate word, sending dick pics.
how about he keep adding extra details?
But like no, that's just being real. But sending penis pictures to you guys. Wait, sending penis pictures to other men or whatever. So
Other men?
Other men.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
and
It's a little steamy.
Somehow the plot thinking is
Yeah, the
really
plot
like
thickens.
with everything.
I mean, I feel like none of that,
necessary.
is
Yeah.
necessary when it comes to like
A
taking
kid.
revenge
Like
on a
any
child,
kid.
an
Right.
innocent child.
And you
That
said
is
he-
just
And again,
all
it's
types
he
still
of
did it because he
developing.
thought that she was gonna tell.
It could have been a possibility
I don't
that
even.
she was
I
gonna
really
tell,
think
but
like you hurt me, I want to hurt
I wanna
you.
hurt
Is
you.
really what I
Okay.
mean because
That's what I'm thinking.
at
too.
what like
what does the child?
what
have
is
to
this
That's what I was
child?
saying.
How is this developing?
But then
with this
again,
child?
like Deja was saying, that the child was taken away the previous year because
being
of
abused regardless.
abuse. You know what I mean? So we don't know. We'll have to, come back to you guys.
They got some insight, like
Everybody's coming after the mama, like
Because I just don't,
everybody just like blaming
Because
the mother.
I think the
for
bottom
everything.
line is a lot of times in these households, women. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but a lot of times in these households, the bottom line is that a lot of times women fail to protect their children.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to say
For
that.
the sake of love or for the sake of having
Very
someone
true.
around. They'll
Choosing
have
a man before their children.
choosing a man before their child. They might take care of their child financially, but at the end of the day, if this person has displayed any type of physical, emotional, mental harm on your child, it's best to remove them from the situation. And clearly, the mom didn't have enough sense to do that because
Well, how do we know the mom wasn't abusive?
But they said that
either
How do we
way,
know that? Well, my whole thing
she
is
was placed back
I
in custody of
I
her
don't
mother.
believe that it's fair to necessarily blame the mom. Because what if she was at work and that was the only person she could find to be a sitter? What if she can't afford?
She had one
But
out of.
they had-
I
if
think
somebody
she ended
is
up one out of
abusing your
town.
child,
Mind you,
Well,
Well,
Um,
I'm saying you
place
don't,
them with
it doesn't
them.
necessarily have to be that he was abusing her child. Maybe she didn't know, or even if she didn't know, whatever. But I don't think it's fully her fault. I really think it's the person who did it's fault.
I
You
think
know,
it's
I mean,
his
of
fault.
course, it's his
that-
fault.
that might be-
We're
Obviously,
not-
it's his
I'm-
fault. Obviously, it's his fault. But as a parent, it is your
It's your
duty and your
protect your
responsibility.
child.
How
to
many
protect your
dangerous
child.
situations have you been in though where your parents weren't around?
My mother has never
I've
had
been
me
in a
around
lot
an
of-
abuser in my own house.
I've been a lot of.
First off, I've been in a lot of situations that my mom don't even know about, and that's just,
And you're a 4-year-old child. You're a 4-year-old. And your mom, the abuser picks you up from school, babysits you after school, takes care of you. A person
Yeah,
who
my mama never did
abuses
nothing like
you.
that.
That could be your.
Did your
older-
mom do
no,
that?
no,
Because
no.
my
My
mama
older
didn't
brother
do that.
put me in the dryer when I was little. You feel me?
He
And turned
turned
it
it
on.
on?
He turned it on. It was a couple seconds. You feel me? It made me who the man I am today. You
I
know what I'm
cannot.
saying? Everybody go
Guys,
big
we
deal.
cannot
no
compare-
correlation.
Right,
No
that's like
correlation.
apples and oranges.
None.
You cannot
Apples and
compare those
oranges.
things. You cannot
I
compare
get
those
it
things.
because I had siblings too, and I was around them. But that is not
She
a
was the
man.
abusive
Listen,
sibling.
listen. Did I say,
Yeah,
did
but
I
like
say
a
I was
child's
abused? I
understanding.
didn't mean that. I don't think I said that. I think she just said that. I had siblings who bullied me because that's just what it is, being the youngest.
But it's a difference being bullied, versus
But that's
being
what I'm
abused.
saying.
You know
I'm
what I
saying
mean?
there's no correlation. I disagree with them completely because at the end of the day, that man is not her biological father.
And
That
her-
man has no rights to
Parents
her.
said,
Yeah, that's
And her
So why
actual
are
father
you-
is still in the picture. You know what I mean?
So
Is the
why are
question
you?
So
he
my-
has not been spoken of with it as the story continues to develop.
And the thing is, though, he was like, she could have. The thing is, he's still active. Emily is like, he was or whatever. We
The
don't know
dad,
still.
the real
Her
dad.
active-
The real father,
still active
yes.
in her life, and so he was saying, like, up until that point, why would you leave her there with him? You could have asked me to keep her. Obviously, that's his
So
child.
she didn't ask.
No. And she just left him there. Obviously, I'm not sure. She
I
said
mean,
she-
obviously,
it's
there's
continued
more.
to develop.
Exactly.
It's
That's what I was going
continued
to
to
say.
develop.
Obviously,
More
there's
information keeps
different
coming out.
pieces
Mind you,
missing
that-
out of the story.
Right.
We don't know the whole
We're
story.
gonna have to wait till the story
Right.
develops
But
more.
see,
That's what
I
I'm
just
saying.
feel
All
like
I'm
some
saying
pressure
is
like
we
that.
shouldn't we shouldn't make
Like,
accusations.
If you don't
No,
feel,
because at the bare minimum,
I
the
don't
mom
know.
failed to protect the child. At the
but
bare
even
minimum.
as even
All
if
the
the
adults
dad knew
involved
that the
were
mom was going
wrong.
out of town,
We're
if you don't
negligent,
trust
yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
with your kid, go get them.
Thank you. That's another question.
It's not
That's
no.
another,
Why did you ask?
Yeah.
That's your kid.
That's
You
your
ain't
baby,
gotta
right?
That's your
Yeah,
kid.
you can
Go
get
get
them.
'em.
Yeah.
Period.
So that's
I
what I'm
agree.
saying. So I feel like there's some facts missing because
Yeah.
that's like, the freezer mom story that happened in
Oh,
Detroit,
my goodness,
where all
that-
the fathers were like, "Oh, I
You
wanted
didn't-
my baby, and they were nowhere to be found for like
Right.
6 years.
Of course he gonna say
you
why
know?
you ain't calling
You
me.
talking about that lady? Oh, the
Exactly.
lady who
On
killed
TV.
all her children and put them in. Oh,
and
that
put
took
in
me. I was,
her 2 kids.
They
That
put
was
him-
like
Yeah, she killed 2
a
of her
worldwide
kids.
that was like what,
scandal.
3 or 4 or
Yes.
5 years ago. That
Yeah.
that took me.
Michelle
out.
Blair was her
Yeah.
name.
That took me out when I read that. I'm like, she killed her kids and put them in the freezer.
In a freezer.
I'm like, wow.
Abused them.
Abused them too, and starved them.
And starved them.
I was
and then
so
had
hurt.
zero remorse. Talked about it like, yeah, if I could do it, I'd do it again.
Yeah, like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing.
It just shows you that some mothers are not.
Isn't it
Some
Mental
people
Health
who-
Awareness Month?
It is.
Mental
is.
health,
Still
it
mental
is.
aware.
There you
Okay.
go.
These
So
people
let's talk
go
about
get
that.
yourself checked out. But
Not even like that, okay? Listen, let's rephrase that. Please go get yourself checked out if you're
please go
feeling
get yourself
crazy.
checked
Is that
out
what he said
mentally,
it?
go
But it's
to
not.
a therapist.
But I mean, if you,
everything.
a lot of times you do feel
That stuff
mentally
costs.
just unstable. There are times when you kind of are at battle with yourself, and nobody knows you better than you.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if you feel like this might be something going, just talk to somebody. Nobody's saying that you need to go directly to therapy. You need to go, but if you have a
Just
friend,
start
if you
talking
need an
about it.
outreach, heck, if you need to come drop in one of our DMs, something.
Yeah.
There are
There's
outlets for you.
resources.
There are
Yeah.
And you'll
resources for
never
you.
know how many people are going through similar
same
things
thing.
to
Right.
you until you open up and are
Right.
willing to have those conversations.
I do it all
So
the time.
yeah, so even if you don't feel even if you don't feel like comfortable talking to a therapist, I know personally when I went to therapy when I was a child dealing with my father's death, I was not telling her the truth. This lady, Alexis knows the tea. It was crazy. She was talking about her divorce. Like, it was literally a therapy session for her. So we weren't into it. However, I feel like as I got older and I was able to maybe express myself a little bit better and really be able to explain what it is I'm actually feeling, because I educated myself on the terminology and I educated myself on, the different circumstances that happen when it comes to mental illness and depression and anxiety. It made me feel a lot more better just knowing like, okay, this is something that I deal with and this is something that I'm going to keep working and striving to become better. Yeah. So even just acknowledging it, even just opening up to a family member or a friend, there's resources available. If you really feel as though you need help, seek it, because it's there.
And also, Oakland University, if you're here in Michigan, Oakland University also has free counseling sessions that you can do. I think if I'm not mistaken, 7 or 8 you can do in the state of Michigan. You can go to Oakland University. If I'm not mistaken, it is in the back building, kind of like towards the back near the recreation center. So if you're an Oakland student or just a person that's living in Michigan, you can definitely go to Oakland University. They have free counseling for you as well.
And self-love is the best love.
It is.
Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Too many people love you for you to just struggle.
Are love.
You're love.
Exactly. Spread that love.
Spread the love.
Also, if you feel like you cannot handle the weight of the world, or you might feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, or you feel like you are over the edge, you might have postpartum depression, anything like that, don't take it out on the kids. Put the kids in a better situation and handle your shit and come back to it. Because that's the moral of the whole fucking story.
Exactly. Well, as one angel leaves us, a new one joins us.
Yes.
Trey Songz has a new baby, a baby boy.
I mean, a whole baby.
A whole child.
A whole baby.
Did we know about the baby coming?
No.
No, we didn't know that the baby was coming.
Is he
They
married?
posted a picture. I was like, you got a whole baby.
married?
Yes.
Who's the mother?
Shit.
Right. He was like, welcome my son Noah. His son's name is Noah.
Who's the mother?
That was a good
Do
way.
we know?
Allegedly, it is it's Dave East's baby mother's sister.
Oh, that's cool.
That's too much.
Thank you. That's too much. That's
Ain't
too much.
nobody's
Thank you.
baby
We don't know
mama's
who she is.
family
Just say
shit.
that.
No, that's
Her name is Anonymous.
Okay, period.
Her name.
Mama drama.
Her name.
Shout outs
is,
to him.
I mean, beautiful baby though.
I ain't even
It
seen
is a
it.
beautiful baby.
Beautiful
I don't
little
follow
boy.
Trey Songz, so I don't even be knowing.
He dropped a whole baby though.
But
A whole
good.
child
As
named
long as
Noah.
he's healthy.
First of all, the mother and the brother let it slip because
They underneath the picture tagging
nephew
I'm
and
so
everything
happy,
like
nephew.
that. So, and at first I'm like, did
He was
Trey?
trying to be
Because
anonymous.
Trey Songz has a nephew, so I'm like, did his brother have another baby?
child,
Have
yeah.
another baby? No, he had a child. He did a Drake, but Drake he didn't do it like Drake. He just like, well, this is my child. Here he is.
Well, other niggas put Drake baby out. They was like, nigga, you got a baby. Drake was like,
Right.
Drake didn't know he had a baby. Drake was like, yeah, I knew.
Right. But like, I don't
Slide
know.
that out there. Throw that in a couple bars.
He knew, right, but the thing is, like, for a lot of people, for a lot of men, especially like a Trey Songz, especially like a Drake, you would think that they would choose better women to kind of like have children with. And I don't mean that in a like.
It might not have been a choice. Like, it might not have been something like, I'm going to choose to do this.
It was in the moment. Sex, you don't know.
I don't know.
think
I just feel like
I think it was a
caliber
slip
of
up.
women
I feel like
would be better.
ideally,
You know how babies are made.
I feel
so
like-
if
yeah.
this is not
So
somebody
you
that
take
you
your
want a
time.
baby with, you
Ideal-
should probably protect yourself.
But you know, sometimes
I feel like the
condoms
caliber
slip,
of
you poke
women
a
they
hole.
had got.
Here's the thing. I
Could've been
feel
a
like
lot.
I feel
I feel
like
like-
ideally,
I feel
just
like-
based off the type of women that Drake dates and involves himself with, like on a public level, I don't think a porn. I'm no shame either. No shade.
No
like
slut shaming here. It's
yeah,
just
no,
like-
not at all. Like get your life, girl.
Right.
That's what you want to do.
Right.
But that was in
However,
the realm
the come
of
up
who
was
you
real.
felt
But
he
he
was
came
with.
from dating like Serena Williams, like a legend. Dating, he was seen with who was it before that? It was like J Lo. He was
But before
involved
then, he was
with.
with
Rihanna.
He be having some
Rihanna.
good picks, though. He be having some good picks.
I mean, yeah, all of
But
his women
I-
are bomb. Even the porn
I
star,
just-
she's bomb.
I
But I'm
just
saying
feel
just based off
like-
the caliber he
I feel
messed
like
with in a relationship.
80% of babies are unplanned and just people wanting to fuck raw.
Hell
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? That's just how I see it. And then that other 20% is like the planned pregnancy crew. You know what I'm saying?
I hope to
Yeah.
fall into the
Planned
20%
pregnancy party.
Yeah. That's the ideal way of doing things, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Not the ideal way.
I mean, ideal is handling it when it comes, I guess.
But then
Shout
the
out
other,
Or you
to
can also
the mother.
prevent it, but
It's
still.
putting
But
on your big
also
girl
there-
Mother
panties
and baby
and
are
taking care of
healthy.
your baby.
hold on, but
She
also
said-
there is another woman out there who's also claiming to be the mother of Chase Song, baby.
Well, you
And
know,
it was
this is
actually
happening.
it was,
What was that?
her name.
I would have been
Give me 1 second.
So
I'm trying to find out, but she was a porn star.
We
as
don't know
well.
the mother,
Her-
or is it another baby?
Yeah, she was a porn star. You know, like Snapchat has like the premium. You can buy someone's.
Oh, so she wasn't like a good one. She was like the amateur kind.
Oh,
She was
Yeah, like, yeah,
She was an
Not
amateur
premium.
dancer,
Yeah.
or a porn star.
Porn star. I thought he said.
like a Snapchat
Her
porn
name
star.
is Brittany.
He said she had a
Oh.
premium. That's not usually done. Well,
Oh, so she
Yeah,
got like
that's,
a
that's like the bust down Snapchat. part.
Not the busted down.
Not the bus.
She producing her own videos.
She like,
Hey, look,
follow
she's
my
an
premium.
entrepreneur.
I'd be like,
She's an
That's
entrepreneur.
okay. She producing her own videos with the
interesting what you
iPhone.
saying
Prop-
is.
All right, but moving on. If you guys don't know, Triple X or Tentacion, Triple X.
XX. I got it.
Say it for me.
XXX Tentacion.
Gracias.
Go. I thought it was Tenacion.
Not today.
I thought it was like Stacey on.
So, the mother of
Fantastic.
XXX Tentacion, sons wins petition against rapper's mother for DNA. So this is really good because
So
Yeah.
she wanted to do a DNA test, but the mother was denying it. Like, no, we're not doing a
The
DNA test.
XXX
So she
mother,
went. She
stop.
took it to the court. Like, yo, I want a DNA test to prove.
Why
that
would
he
she
is
not
the
want to
father.
know?
first of all, that
Ignorance is
child
bliss.
looks exactly like him. So it's like no ifs, ands, or buts.
How old is the baby?
The baby was just
A
born.
couple months
like,
Yeah, he's
a
a couple months old.
He's a baby,
I don't
baby.
I don't know. I don't know this stuff.
won't they have to like? How they gonna get his? How they
So
gonna get
it's
his
basically
DNA
they
sample?
have his
His
DNA
parents.
sample from the coroner. They also have it from the coroner. So
Yeah.
they have a DNA sample from the coroner. I mean, because his parents were saying like, "Hey, I'm not doing a
But
DNA
no,
test."
a lot of times.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. A lot of times they dig them up. Or a lot of times they won't dig them up.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
They're
exhume
not
the
going
body.
to
They're gonna
exhume him
base
to
it
do
on
the
what they
DNA test.
did.
So, because I watch a lot of Steve Wilkos and more, what they do, what they do
Steve
is
Wilkos is
just
the
take
best.
period.
He better
But
than
they
Marty.
just take samples from the parents and then do the like the DNA based off like their relationship.
But
Yeah.
because
Well, I
he
don't think
also
there's nothing
because
wrong with it.
because he was murdered last year, the coroners still have his DNA.
But
Yeah.
why are we
So
doing
they're gonna
DNA
test it
tests
against his
anyways? Like, why are we
DNA.
doing
Because
Mama
the
was
parents
the-
were denying
The
Paternity.
baby.
that he was the father.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the baby looks
So, like,
exactly
he
like
wasn't-
him.
So she's like, okay.
So the baby
Put on
mama want to
record.
prove it to the parents, you know,
That
that she
that's
the
the daddy. I mean,
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
that
He's
she can
that big.
It's
reap
legitimate.
benefits for the baby, or
I don't
like,
think.
I mean, I'm
honestly,
sure.
I mean,
don't
honestly,
think
if
it's
that she's
necessarily
entitled
but
to
I
that,
think
and
that's
he's
a
not
plus.
there to help.
But
yeah.
that's the whole point.
But the
and
thing-
that's why it's so important to get married. Like for real,
It's
like people
true.
don't pay attention to stuff like that until it really hit the fan.
But
I
the
mean,
thing
that
is,
may have
too-
been in their plans, but an untimely death. Is
Well,
like,
no,
you
they
know,
had
you
a
can't-
troubled past apparently. So like his relationship with her, she apparently like sued him for domestic abuse a couple years
That
back.
was the same one he made the song about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same girl.
He to be quite honest with you, the way he did her was so
Yeah,
reckless. It was like so bold.
I said she was
Black
my
in that
baby
girl's
mama. She told the
eye,
world I
threatened
oh,
to
and he
stick
beat her up
Yeah.
in that hotel lobby or
and
whatever.
no,
Or hallway.
he threatened to stick I think a pitchfork up her vagina, like
pitchfork?
everything.
Oh
Like
my
he
God.
was very
Where the
abusive.
fuck did you get a pitchfork?
That's
a
a great
farmer's
call.
house.
Like, that was-
farmer's house.
A
But like,
pitchfork.
not a pitchfork, but you know, like the one for like the logs and stuff like those. One of those type of pitchforks.
Oh, you talking
you
about
talking about the little
pointy
steak.
one?
That's
He
all
I
is
said, like,
demented.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's some
and then he was trying before he passed in 2018. He was trying to turn his life around, quote unquote,
Okay.
by doing like little things here and there for his community and stuff like that. But like he ended up dying before, and then you have a lot of people like, oh well, this is what happened. Almost
the
in the
baby-
same
Yeah.
guys, the
Was-
same guys who do Kodak Black. Oh, he was misguided and stuff like that. Let's be real. He was still grown. He
Okay.
knew what he was doing. He knew what he was saying.
Yes, he
So-
made decisions.
He made
The-
decisions, and those decisions came back. And for me, I'm not a person that supports XXX or whatever.
When did he
And
die?
I didn't feel. I ain't gonna say I felt bad because he
When did he
died.
die?
I'm glad he
Last
did.
year.
I mean, I'm not glad he died, but like
And how old is
that
the baby?
sounds fucked up, huh?
When did he die?
Last
He
year
died
in June.
June 18th, I believe,
how old is the
last
baby?
year.
The baby was just born like late last year, early this year.
CJ
I think the math
calculating
is
them.
You know that meme with all the math?
Again,
I
but this
was
is one of the
like,
reasons why the
I
parents
was-
were petitioning. Like,
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
know if I believe it. So she won. The
She-
court
we have to
granted her
remember,
She
June-
there by an
permission.
inch.
Mind you, he died in June, so she had to get pregnant around that time before
That's
he
what I was
died.
about to say.
Yeah.
She there
So
by an
it's
inch.
6 months and then plus 3.
I mean,
It's
but if
possible.
I'm his
Yeah.
parents, he's his mother's only
Did
child,
she
if
go
I'm
to
not
the
mistaken.
funeral?
So
Huh?
Did she go
if
to
I'm
the
his
funeral?
parents,
She
I
wasn't
want
invited to
that
the funeral.
closure. Like, okay, yes, my
They,
son
like,
is gone,
exiled her.
but I do have this,
Well, I
his
guess they couldn't
son
see her
to
pregnant
kind of
if
carry
she
his
wasn't invited
legacy
to the
on.
Exactly.
In a sense. So, again, the plot's going to thicken. We'll see how this kind of develops as far
Hopefully,
as,
she
like,
gets
child
some type
support
of
and
peace,
everything.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that child looks exactly like him, so it's just like
I don't know how far this is going to, yeah.
So,
I don't know how
he's
much
the
further
baby
this story
daddy.
can develop. I just hope that they all get peace and honestly come together. I think the only reason why the mom was objecting anything was because she probably knew how tumultuous their relationship was
Right.
and really wasn't fucking with it. It was like, no.
I mean, but you
Right.
can't
That's
deny that this child didn't have
Yeah.
nothing to do with that. You can't
The
deny
proof
this
is in the
child
pudding,
for that.
exactly.
They could have been on
Putting
some
the DNA.
Tina Turner and Ike.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that was very
Okay.
toxic. That's a very
That was
bad.
very
That's a
toxic.
very bad
That was
example.
very toxic.
That was
Bobby
toxic.
and Whitney.
So, Snapchat came out
My
with this
favorite
Yo,
gender
filter.
swap.
They out of pocket with this gender
My
snap.
favorite filter, though.
So we talked about
Hands
this
down.
last week,
They out of pocket.
but it was very
I don't
very
know why
funny.
my Snapchat don't have it still.
Really?
Yours is
Really?
whack.
Does
That's
anybody
crazy.
follow Lala?
Yes,
Oh
hers is
my
so
god,
funny.
hers had me in real tears. When I tell you, I was actually crying, laughing when she took off her wig.
And
It didn't even look like a filter. It looked like a whole man.
both ways.
I was like, oh.
But so,
Oh
these
my
people are going crazy with the Snapchat. It was actually
They out of
quite
pocket.
funny.
People out here making profiles with
mine
the
on. I
pictures.
look
Are you
like my
serious?
mama.
You're doing the
I
most.
like
right
two
now.
I look like
videos
my
on
mama.
mine.
I look like my mom with my
Mine's pretty
blonde
good.
hair. You know, when I put a hat on and then it turned the hair dark, I look like my grandma.
Now,
I'm
did you
dead.
guys?
Not robot.
Question. I have a
was on
question. Did you guys hear about people from the transgender community saying
It's like-
that
I heard about
it's
that.
not it's not a costume, their gender isn't a costume and stuff
I heard
like
about that.
But I mean, if I'm a woman, I didn't say that my gender wasn't a costume either. I mean, I can say the same thing. It goes both ways. You can't say that about yourself and have that not apply to anybody else.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
heard
go.
like
it just
little
doesn't.
snippets here and there, but I didn't really hear too
I
much.
didn't hear it.
I don't
You
know.
didn't hear too
I
much about it.
I
But
I
I heard
read a
about
couple of
blackface
articles
genders,
and I
you
saw
know
like a
what I'm
lot of people's responses in the comment section and people.
I mean,
were
I can
going in
understand
on
what
it.
them saying
I
that, but
just-
I think
Pretty
I don't.
I
I
get
just
it,
don't
but
like
then I
to
don't
s-
get it.
I
It's
don't like to
right.
speak on struggles
I
that
ain't
I
saying
have
nothing.
not endured. You know, I don't know how sensitive it must feel
Yeah.
and like the body dysmorphia that people go through when it comes to the whole process of transitioning. And because I've never been through those experiences, I can't say what their triggers should and should not be. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
I mean,
true.
you
you know, you never know what
That's
trigger
true.
because
That's
at the
true,
end of the day, people could have said that when it comes to stuff like with segregation back in the day when it came to like
But my thing
What?
is, you want me to accept, and it's people who like.
it's social rights,
gonna
so it's a
ex-
correlation.
I'm gonna
it's not
expect
a
what
reach,
you're
or as
saying,
much of a reach as it
but
looks
you don't
like.
respect how I feel or what I'm saying. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So you could say, like you were just talking about the the trans community having a problem with the filter, and we can say, you know what, I haven't gone through that, and I don't know what your triggers are, and I have to, and you expect me to respect that. But if I talk about, let's say, segregation,
Like
you don't
blackface and stuff like
you
that,
don't
people be
respect
like-
that. So it goes both ways.
It does, and just like in Sweden, or I don't think it's Sweden, but it's some country where
is Sweden.
black,
It is
okay, it's
Sweden.
Sweden,
Yeah.
where blackface is like a cultural thing.
part-
It's
it's
something that
It was
Yeah.
like an elf. The elf that followed around Santa Claus was like his main
Was
elf,
black as
but
hell.
he
Yeah.
was black as hell. So
and that's the thing. They don't find that offensive, so they say like, that's not offensive. We
But
celebrate this
I don't
person.
know how many Swedish people you guys have met, but I've never met no black
Neither
Swedish
have
man.
There's
I
black
mean,
people.
it's black people in
Swedish-
Sweden.
I'm
Right.
It
sure
is.
it is, but,
But
I've never met one.
my thing with that is like the correlation that I was trying to make.
Exactly.
I've never had a
Sweet,
person come
not
and say
yet,
I'm
but-
Swedish, so you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, look, so I have actually, but he wasn't black. He wasn't a black guy. He was a photographer actually.
I'm pretty sure we just met a lady that was Swedish.
Yeah, but she what?
Oh yeah, nah,
bad.
yeah, nah.
wasn't-
Yeah,
That's
well.
what we're doing now. Okay.
Right.
But anyway, the correlation that I was trying to make was we find that highly offensive. They don't. So me as a non-trans person, I can't say this isn't a trigger for you
Right.
because I'm not trans.
No, absolutely, and I definitely agree. But at the same time, it was just like I didn't. For me, as a person who's not trans or nothing like that, it's more so just looking at it like where was it? You know what I
Maybe
mean?
it was. I
Where
don't
did
know.
the correlation like, oh, we're making fun of trans?
I didn't think it
people.
was no negativity.
Me neither.
Me
I
either.
I didn't think it was any negativity.
Yeah, I don't
Anything,
think
it could
was
actually
either.
waken
But
up
for
people,
instance,
like-
with like Gucci, when Gucci did the little blackface sweater thing like that. You know, everybody was saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't intentional," and I'm sure it wasn't
But
intentional.
Gucci came out and made no apology to that. Like
They
was
did.
like, oh,
They did.
oh,
They made several apologies. And they hired, I think, Dapper Dan, which everybody, if you don't know who Dapper
but
Dan,
they continue to do it though. Like that wasn't.
But
the
they
first
removed.
time.
But them
Well,
saying
no, they took it off
they
of
took
the
it off.
line. They said they
But
don't know how
I do think
it
they
came
do,
out, and they didn't mean
Well,
for it
that's
to be
just like
offensive.
H&M with the monkey.
How do you didn't know there was a whole
But what
production
I'm
on
saying
this?
is, it was an entire
People had to
community.
make those
It was an
clothes.
Right.
entire community of black people offended. So, you know,
Somebody phone ringing.
yeah, who is that?
Not mine.
It ain't me. Unless I'm
It's
a
gotta
witch.
be you. You're the only one on here.
No, I literally didn't have nobody calling me. Look.
everybody looking like, whose phone is vibrating?
So, by the way, whenever we talk about the BET Awards, I have the nominations. So.
Awesome. Actually, we're about to
The
get into
EBT
that one
Awards.
next. So,
Yeah.
So MTV
Maybe.
Movie Awards, MTV Awards.
MTV/BET.
Not the EBT, but hey, actually,
The EBT Awards.
Y'all wrong as hell.
nominations are out. Deja has the list, and please give us.
First of all, we need to talk about this poppin' ass best female hip
Artist,
hop
yeah,
category.
That one
Okay.
is because I can't even pick one.
I can't either. I want them all to win.
Okay, well, let them know what it is.
Okay,
though.
so let's let the people know.
For who?
So
Hip
for
hop?
the best female hip hop artist, we
Cardi.
have Cardi B, Cash Doll, Lizzo,
Okay.
Megan Thee Stallion,
Okay.
Come on, Meg.
Nicki Minaj,
Okay.
Yeah.
and Remy Ma.
Nicki Minaj still in the running.
That is
Remy
a joke.
still on the list?
Period.
Y'all gotta let that go.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
She ain't got no albums out.
That's true.
What was
However,
the last
Cardi
album
not.
Nicki
Wait, was it
came out
new
with?
female hip hop artist? or
No, it's just best female hip hop
Oh,
artist.
she ain't got
Okay.
nothing out right now.
Who you think I'll win?
Megan.
You
Megan.
think Megan? You
No,
think
no,
Megan?
no.
Cardi.
Megan.
Cardi.
Megan.
Because
Megan-
Cardi ate
I have
last
no
year.
opinion.
If we're talking about last year, Cardi ate, and that's
You
how
right,
the
right.
nominations.
Megan is this year.
Megan is this
Megan
year.
is this year.
Let
So
me tell
let's
you, but
hold
Megan,
fever for next
we,
year.
We don't get into Megan because Megan is it.
Megan is the tea. Okay, do you
Megan
hear
is
me?
it.
Agreed.
I'm all for everybody. You
I'm
know,
all-
except
I'm
for
all
I'm
for
Remy
for
Ma.
everybody black.
I'm all for
Also,
everybody.
except
I
Except
re-
Remy Ma. Same.
Issa.
Like,
Yeah,
what
I'm
song
Issa.
Remy Ma made?
That's not my
I'm
girl.
dead. I actually like Cash Doll. I want her to put out some more
Oh
good
yeah,
music.
I'm for Cash too.
I feel like
She
But-
doesn't even have an album out yet.
but it
so
doesn't
no.
matter
That's
because
my-
she's still
yeah.
winning.
But you know, the fact that she was even nominated is a huge.
But
It's
she
a-
has
it's
some
a
songs that didn't come out
accomplishment.
within the
It
last few months, so I do think
I
that-
hope all of them come and slay the red carpet.
they
except for
will.
Remy Ma.
You already know. Sis know how to turn a look.
except for
All of
Remy
them.
Ma.
Who else we got?
I don't want her to beat nobody. else.
Lizzo, I live.
I
I don't know
love
if
Lizzo.
I
y'all
love
know.
Lizzo.
Okay, so we all like Lizzo.
I don't know who Lizzo.
You
is.
gotta
I
get
don't know.
We
hip.
got a song
Yeah,
that plays
I-
into Lizzo.
I
Listen
wasn't
to
gonna say
Juice.
nothing. I ain't wanna be
Juice
the
is a
only
good
one.
The song
song.
that I
No
played
clue.
with her. Remember we
You don't know
danced
who
before
Lizzo
the
is?
party?
Follow her on Instagram. She's like a body
No,
positive
fuck it up,
hip hop
put the
artist.
same
She is a big
Oh,
girl,
yeah,
but
with
she
Missy Elliott.
sings,
Oh,
she
yeah.
dances,
Okay.
she does all of this amazing
Still
stuff.
don't know
She
her,
plays
but-
the flute and twerks at the same time, and it's fucking amazing.
Super creative.
Super creative.
Super
And
creative.
no,
I just wonder how you created that. Like you was like, oh, what can I do at the
Lizzo.
same time? Let's play the
Lizzo.
flute.
Lizzo.
But she's
Wait,
literally
I
a
have to look
musician.
her
though.
rap.
Like, she
I
don't-
might
she
have
plays
you
a lot
have
of
to
different
follow her on
instruments.
Instagram. When I tell you, you will get your whole life and then some. Follow
She's
her on
lit.
Instagram. Seriously.
She's lit.
She's good.
They
She's
don't know
really
about the
good.
headstand.
She is really good.
All right,
Nah,
so
shit.
that
Look
is the
that
best
up.
The
female,
headstand.
the less exciting.
The
However, we
headstand.
got to talk about it.
I'm
Is the
dead.
best male hip hop artist.
Drake.
Of course.
Right.
So we got 21 Savage,
Oh.
Drake, J. Cole,
I
Meek
need to
Mill,
listen to
Nipsey Hussle, who's gonna take it this
Yeah,
year,
he's taking it.
and Travis Scott.
Nipsey.
Nipsey.
Nipsey's gonna win, and who if he doesn't?
I mean, if he was still alive, he would win. But I
Either-
don't want to say this is just because.
no,
of his
they're gonna
passing.
give it to him because
They're
it's
gonna
passing,
give
and
it
if
to
they
him.
don't, whoever
But
gets
I
the
think he
award is
earned it
gonna give it
without
to
it.
him.
I think
Dedicated
he
to
earned
him.
it without
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
I feel like they
Hands
should
down.
just give him an award.
Yeah, like an activist.
Yeah,
award, 'cause they
like
always
a
do, an
dedication,
activist
like
always
an
do that.
memorial.
I
But
feel
you
like
already
it'll
know
be
that
the-
they're
I
gonna
think
do
it's-
something for Nip.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll do something, but I think it might be a little too soon for them to do the tribute thing because they waited like quite some time for Michael Jackson's tribute. They didn't do it right
I think
away.
it was about his like the timing of his death.
It
though.
was.
I don't
It was
necessarily
because-
think it was.
It was right
Yeah.
before the BET Award.
It was
and
right
they tried to
after
change
the BET
everything.
Awards, yeah.
No, it was right
was
before.
right before.
Yeah, it was right before because they
So that's
had
too
changed the
soon,
whole
yeah?
shoot. They changed the
They
whole
changed
show.
the whole show, and it went like, yeah, it wasn't.
It
was
wasn't
bad.
good
Yeah, it
because they
wasn't
changed
good.
it too fast. That should
Mhm.
have
I
just
mean,
kept
but
the
you got
regular
to think
program.
about how he
and
passed.
just did like a little.
What was that? March?
No, he
Who?
passed in
April?
June.
No,
Who,
not
Michael
Michael
Jackson?
Jackson. Nipsey Hussle.
He passed in April.
They got they
Yeah,
have
so he
ample
passed in
enough time.
April. Yeah, that's
April, May,
that's a lot of time to.
So
Yeah,
we'll
to get it
see. We
together.
might have to
So
Yeah.
who are you
We'll be
rooting
talking
for?
about the show,
So
though.
wait. Let's go back. I'm sorry. Let's go around the table table and say who you're rooting for the best female hip hop category. We'll start with Alexis.
Why? Wait.
Because you're at the end of the
for
table.
female.
It's like
Male?
cards.
Male?
No, we're gonna go
Female?
back to female and then do male.
Okay,
Okay.
so start over.
So
Who do I want? I
Who you
want
got?
Megan Thee Stallion.
I think Megan gonna take it.
CJ.
I would say Megan or Nicki, but I know Nicki not coming this year, so you know.
Well,
Okay.
we know
Matt?
Nicki not
I only know who like 3 of the 6 people is. So
who you gonna
like
pick?
Cardi.
Okay,
Alright.
Cardi.
Yeah,
I don't have a horse in this race because I don't listen to none of them. But I'm going to say Remy.
exactly.
Turn the mic off.
What y'all gonna nominate her for? Conceited?
Period.
Get out of here.
Go ahead.
I got it.
In reality, I know Cardi's gonna take it, but in my heart, I go Lizzo and Meg.
Megan. I like Megan.
All right, so
Megan needs to win this.
best female hip hop artist, Alexis. Who you got?
Male.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Nipsey.
Okay.
Nipsey, same.
I say Drake. Give Nipsey his.
Drake.
I
I say Nipsey.
I say Nipsey as well.
I know, but I don't really listen.
Because I think he's, again, even without the passing, I think he earned that.
Well, with the
Yeah,
passing,
sure.
I think that makes him a for sure win because now people really know who he is, even for people who didn't prior.
Yeah, because people that didn't listen to Nipsey before, they was like, "Oh, Nipsey, you make good music."
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. I know the MTV Awards, we don't got none for them, but just know that they are out. You guys can look it up.
The
It's called
nominations for
Google. MTV.
It's called Google.
Somebody
Figure it out
real
more.
quick. Somebody looking them up.
We ain't got
Somebody
enough
look them up
time
real
for that.
quick.
We
Oh,
gotta wrap
We
it
ain't
on
enough
up.
time.
Oh, okay.
So Wendy Williams dissolves substance abuse charity and hangs out with Black China.
My girl out here.
Okay,
I mean,
she out here
I
living.
feel like
My
this
girl
is
out here.
because of the divorce. Like, because it was, they established it together. It was something that you have to dissolve in order to rebuild. And it may come back, different name, even same name. But I feel like she dissolved it because of the divorce.
And she don't want to be associated with her husband.
Yeah, she does. She no longer wants that to be associated with him. The only way to do that, because this is kind of becoming messy with them, but the only way to do that is to dissolve it. I do think it's going to come back. It may come back under, a different name. But I do believe it's going to come back.
Just not as the Hunter
Yeah,
Foundation.
it's going to definitely, I feel like it'll be back after the divorce is settled.
Yeah, definitely.
So y'all said she's hanging out with Black China.
She hung out with
I don't
Black
know
China.
why. Like, that
One
was just,
time.
I feel
don't
like
know
that
why.
was
One
probably
thing.
maybe just like
It was just
the
fun.
I'm being
press.
She trying to get the booty doctor connect, you know?
Nah,
She not.
she trying to
She
even
got
it
her
out.
own
She
girl,
was
why?
really nice though when she went out. She
My
looked
girl
nice.
wants an
She was
app.
out
Well,
living
I
her
feel like
life.
when you go through a bad breakup, it's important to try to be a bad bitch and then hang out with your whole friends. Like that's just
Yeah.
like typical.
Her
Her
It's
and
funny.
Black China though, it's like
Y'all
Or
should
maybe
hanging
Black
out.
China-
China.
somebody I
Maybe
follow.
Black
Yeah,
China
I
is
can
helping
see
her
Oprah's
come up with a
friend, you know
sinister
what I'm
plan because
Black
Black
China's
China
the
know how to
goat.
finesse.
She's the go.
Nobody finesses like Black China.
Period.
So
But I think
I
Black
don't
China
know.
low key trying to rebrand herself too, which is a good.
Wendy
just
Williams
want-
kind of has
I
so
don't think so.
much.
It's
She
never
don't
too
need to
over. It's
finesse
never over.
nobody.
It's over unless you
Niggas
dead.
are finessing her,
who?
Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
So it's like we
Look,
don't.
I
She
got
don't
stuck.
need that.
Black China's helping her come
That
up with
part.
an elaborate plan.
But no, I am glad that Wendy just out here look like he's just having a ball of fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
For
Just
her.
like
My only side note for her is stop wearing those orthopedic shoes.
she said she stopped wearing them because of
Oh my
when
God.
she fell.
No, I'm talking about the shoes that she had on.
Right,
when
she
she,
wearing
went out.
white shoes.
She started wearing them.
No, she said she stopped wearing a lot of heels because after she
She didn't
fell.
have to have no heels
Oh,
on
she got
to
an
rock
excuse
that
for
outfit.
that.
Them shoes was horrible.
Not orthopedic.
Them
could've
shoes
wore a
did not
sandal
go
for that.
She could have wore a sandal. She had on some gym shoes,
I mean,
and they look like granny gym shoes. You know how granny gym shoes
With
look
the
like?
I'm
bubbles
so
at the
upset
bottom.
that you said it and I had a whole picture. Like I knew exactly.
I was
what
like,
you
you
were
know how you
talking
scrolling through a picture? I'm like, oh yes, Wendy. And I said, the
Right, she
shoes.
could have did some different shoes, but like for the most part, I'm glad that she's out here looking
Yeah,
like she's
she
happy.
was looking
and happy.
good.
Okay. That's
Also,
good.
Megan Thee Stallion, Fever
Hey,
mixtape.
playing
it
mixtape,
all day.
sorry.
Big old freak.
It's
It's
straight
lit.
flame.
Big booty,
It's
big
bop
old-
after
Oh, that's that
bop
song?
after
From
bop.
literally
That's
like
bop.
Yeah.
top to
Yeah.
bottom is really good. No, like wow, like
Listen.
I was
Yeah, no,
like,
her-
wow, it's
listen,
actually really good.
Before I started following her on Instagram, before she blew up.
Me too.
This is before the Wale workout song came out.
Mhm.
And I just lived. I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she was a great rapper. I thought she was so talented. I love how she's like team natural body and banging. Like I just love it. I love everything about her. Her personality is dope. She reminds you of a best friend you can hang out with. And I feel like that her personality is gonna get her a really long way in this industry. She's relatable. She cool as fuck. She throw hottie parties, and she got the girls gas for the summer.
Yeah.
Period.
So in that
And
aspect,
another thing
That
too,
period.
she don't accept the bait. So like when a lot of times she does interviews, you know how they try to set you up
Yeah.
and whatever. Like they'll ask her a question that would be easy for her to bash another female
Yeah.
artist,
She
and
don't
she won't
speed
do
in.
it.
she's a class
And
act.
I respect
college
that.
educated woman.
I
I'm gonna say
respect
she
that.
is college educated. I'm like, I
She
would
know
hope.
better.
I will hope that
yes.
she just took some gems from college
like
and
that,
from just
yeah.
like, and plus her mother before her passing, you know what I
Rest
mean,
in peace.
taught her a lot. You know what I mean, like. Before her passing, you know, taught her a lot about the game, taught her a lot about rapping,
Yeah.
and just
Her mom was
helped.
a rapper.
Her mom was, yeah. Her mom was a rapper, yep. And
Oh,
so,
word.
Learn something new every day.
right. And so, Megan Thee Stallion, she is it. My songs is cash shit, running up freestyle, weak ass bitch.
That was knocking in my car.
I was like, okay, that was it. That was it. I'm
I
like,
like the ratchet.
the-
Nobody.
I love the
I
ratchet.
love the
ratchet.
ratchet too. It's the
Uh-huh.
summertime. She got the girls
What
gas.
is
It's about to be lit.
What is it? Hood ass bitch. Hood ass.
All right.
Hood rat shit.
Is it weak
Here's
ass?
the-
Other songs
Hood
named
rat.
as
Weak
bitches.
ass.
It was called Hood rat.
It
was
guessing that is going on.
It was something about hood rat, like because in
Some with
the
your hood
beginning it
rat
was
friends.
like I'm about to yeah.
That was the song you was playing in the car.
It's called Hood Rat.
It's,
Oh,
it's called Hood rat.
Yeah.
So those are my gems from her. Oh, and Simon Says, which is
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Simon
Oh,
Says
well,
is
yes.
good.
It's
well, I'm
about-
not even gonna get into the Wolf
It's
Tyler
about-
thing.
Yeah, we not.
We don't got another.
Wrap
it up.
But yeah, so Ja has a Ja's Jewel. Just to
Okay.
send us off first.
Jaws Ju- oh,
Ready, ready, set.
We're not doing it.
No, yeah, we are.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Ja's
Jewel.
Ew.
Y'all are funny for that.
You like that?
That was
That was
That was
lit.
I know you like
I
that.
think y'all funny for that. All right, so my Josh Jewel for the week, which we're gonna post on the Instagram as well, so you guys can kind of come back to it. But my Josh Jewel for the week is: if you don't leave your past in the past, it will destroy your future. Live for what today has to offer, not for what yesterday has taken away. Because every day is a good day. Some are just better than others.
That's true.
Amen.
I like
Here-
that.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Jesus wept.
Can we talk about Josh Jewels on her nails though?
Let's see,
First
Josh.
off,
Okay.
Josh,
Do
she's
a little
showing
nail
out.
cam.
She's showing out.
Do a little
Showing
nail
out.
cam.
Do a little nail
Right,
cam
let's
to the
talk about
camera.
that.
Nail
Okay,
cam.
nail cam. We need a nail cam.
We got
But,
one.
but what I was say, I
live.
think today we had a really,
live,
really,
baby.
we did a really, really good job
We live,
today, you
baby.
guys. We actually kind of went through all the lists for the first time.
Yes.
It was
Big ups
pre-lit.
to us.
As she said, it was pre-lit. But yes, do you guys have anything else to say before we wrap up? Or
See y'all next week. I'm excited to kind of continue these conversations. We got some
Okay,
good content to talk about
absolutely.
live next week.
check us out on Instagram.
Yep.
Facebook is coming soon. We are on SoundCloud,
Yeah, check the
Stitcher,
SoundCloud.
Apple Music. I think Apple.
Apple Music. That's what I call Apple Music.
You just had
And
to.
I'm Damo.
Hey, it's your girl Ja.
I'm Deja.
It's your girl Alexis Coco.
See Flawless here.
Matt Petty.
And we're out.
So we were really on a video camera.
Yeah, we was on
Yeah,
video.
we live.
So nobody wasn't gonna tell me.
We couldn't because it was
Oh,
like,
hell no.
Say
I
no.
was like, oh,
And my hair look
Live.
big today.
Yeah.
exactly the best angle because if you come in late,
phone
I
died. I
can't
can't even look at
adjust
it.
for you. So it's
It's
it
kinda
is what it is.
You
Not
in, you
almost
in, you not
exactly
sure.
fully in shot.
But you were heard. That's all.
Yeah.
You were heard. You were- But other than that,
Yeah.
though, I think we had a good show. I do want to do a segment on cancel culture because I really think that would be really good. Just have.